As we navigate life, we encounter obstacles that shape our personality and the way we interact with others. Sometimes these obstacles lead us to withdraw, allowing fear of judgment or rejection to dictate our actions. Today we are talking about something often kept quiet and misunderstood: avoidant personality disorder. If you or someone you know hangs back from life, scared of not fitting in, this video is for you. Imagine living in a bubble where trying to talk to someone feels like you are walking through a field full of hidden traps. One wrong move and suddenly you are swamped with worry about what others will think. This isn't just the regular nervousness everyone feels now and then. It's a deep fear that takes over every chance you have to connect with others. Avoidant personality disorder isn't about choosing to be alone. It's about being so scared of what might happen if you're around others that staying by yourself feels safer. Imagine a friend who always says no to going out or parties. It's not that they don't want to hang out, but they're really scared of what others might think of them. Or someone who is really good at their job, but doesn't want a promotion because they'd have to talk to more people and they're worried about not being liked. People with this problem often don't join in things unless they're very sure people want them there. They might stay away from jobs or groups where they have to meet lots of people because they're scared of being judged. It's tough for them to make friends or let people get close because they're afraid of being let down. They feel like they're always on the outside, wanting to join the fun, but too afraid to try. They really want to be part of things, but fear of rejection or messing up holds them back, so they miss out on a lot of pleasure and chances to make friends. Even when people try to be kind, they might back off, scared of getting hurt. It's hard feeling lonely and too scared to make the first move. But it's more than just being shy. It's about being scared like this all the time. And it's not something they can just stop feeling. It's a big fear that they need help and understanding to deal with. Even simple stuff like talking in a group feels really hard. They worry a lot about what to say or think too much about whether they are talking too much or not enough. And these feelings are really strong, making everyday things like going to school, work, or just the store feel super hard. It's like they're always fighting inside, wanting to join in but also terrified of what will happen. Navigating through life with avoidant personality disorder isn't just about the fear of social situations. It's about grappling with a relentless inner critic that questions every interaction and intent. This critic isn't just a passing doubt. It's a constant voice that paints even your best moments with shades of inadequacy. It's looking in the mirror and seeing only the flaws, real or imagined, that you are convinced everyone else sees too. When you do step into social settings, it's not the room you are scanning, but potential exits, both physical and conversational. You are not just present, you are on high alert, mentally rehearsing apologies for being yourself. It's a paradox of wanting to be invisible, yet aching to be seen, understood, and accepted for who you truly are. For people with avoidant personality disorder, it's not just about getting over fear. It's about changing the story they told themselves for so long. They have to learn to see where their thoughts might not be totally accurate, to realize that worrying about being rejected is often scarier than any real rejection. The hard part is to tearing down the walls they've built around themselves, one by one, to let in the idea that they deserve friends, love, and connection. People often misunderstand avoidant personality disorder, thinking it's just about needing to come out of your shell. But let's clear up some of those myths, because understanding can help us be more supportive and compassionate towards those who are dealing with it. First off, there is this idea that folks with avoidant personality disorder are just super shy. Sure, shyness can be a part of it, but it digs a lot deeper. It's about having this intense fear of rejection and criticism that can make even simple interactions feel like climbing a mountain. It's not about choosing to be quiet, it's about feeling trapped by fear. Then there is the myth that if people really wanted to, they could just snap out of it. But it's not that simple. Overcoming it isn't about willpower or wanting to be more social. It's a complex condition that often requires professional help, understanding, and a lot of patience. It's not something you can just decide to get over one morning. And let's talk about the belief that avoidant personality disorder isn't a big deal because everyone feels awkward sometimes. Yes, we all have our moments. But for someone with avoidant personality disorder, it's like living in a constant state of fear of being judged or not fitting in. It's not just feeling a bit awkward at a party. It's a deep-seated fear that affects every part of their life. Comparing occasional social discomfort to avoidant personality disorder is like comparing a paddle to an ocean. They're not even in the same league. So next time you meet someone who might be struggling with these challenges, remember, a little empathy goes a long way. Maybe you've already heard about social anxiety, where people are really afraid of situations like speaking in front of a group, meeting new folks, or even just hanging out with others because they're scared of being embarrassed or judged. Avoidant personality disorder is a bit like social anxiety, but also quite different. Now, with social anxiety, the fear usually zooms into certain moments where someone feels all eyes are on them. They're super worried about doing something that will make them look silly or say something wrong and have everyone thinking less of them. It's like every time they're in these situations, there is a huge spotlight just on them, making them sweat over every little thing they do or say. While avoidant personality disorder might seem a lot like being really scared of social stuff on the surface, it goes a bit deeper. People do get nervous about social situations, but it's more than just worrying over a speech or a party. They often feel like they're not good enough. And this feeling isn't just about being in the spotlight. It's like a shadow that follows them everywhere, making them dodge all kinds of social stuff because they're scared of being rejected or found lacking, not just embarrassed. So, while someone with social anxiety might avoid giving a presentation or going to a crowded event, someone with avoidant personality disorder might skip out on these things too, but also might struggle a lot more with getting close to people in general. They might even have a hard time doing everyday things like making a phone call or sending an email because they're worried about what the other person will think of them, not just in the moment, but overall. In a nutshell, while both social anxiety and avoidant personality disorder involve fear of being around others, the root of that fear and how it plays out in someone's life can be pretty different. Social anxiety is more about fearing a specific situation, while avoidant personality disorder is about a deep-seated worry that you are just not good enough for anyone, anywhere. Cognitive behavioral therapy can be a powerful part of the treatment plan for someone with avoidant personality disorder. It works by tackling certain thoughts and behaviors like constant fear of being rejected and feeling not good enough. It shows people new ways to understand and respond to different situations, which can really help lessen anxiety in social settings and make relationships better. But it's often not the whole story. Personality disorders are complex and can affect almost every aspect of a person's life, from their self-image and emotions to how they relate to others. Due to its complexity, treatment usually involves several approaches to really work. Schema therapy is particularly well suited for dealing with personality disorders. It focuses on identifying and changing deep-seated patterns or schemas, a person's beliefs and feelings about themselves that have been ingrained since childhood. These schemas can be very negative, such as beliefs of being unworthy, inadequate, or unlovable. EMDR is another therapeutic approach, often associated with treating PTSD, but it's also found to be helpful for a variety of conditions, including anxiety disorders and, in some cases, personality disorders. EMDR might not focus on changing core personality traits, but is great for tackling trauma and anxiety that usually come with the disorder. For someone with a personality disorder, EMDR can really help by working through post-traumatic events that fuel current fears of rejection and feelings of not being good enough. It helps ease the emotional hurt from social rejection or criticism and lowers overall anxiety, making social situations seem less scary. Sometimes the road gets extra bumpy, and that's where medication can come in. Think of it as a little extra horsepower for your engine, especially when anxiety or depression makes the journey feel too steep. It's not the right choice for everyone, but for some it makes a big difference in smoothing out the path ahead. In practice, a combination of therapies may offer the best outcomes for someone with avoidant personality disorder. Now it's your turn. Do you relate to any of the stories shared in this video? Maybe you had your own struggles with social situations or know someone who does. Drop a comment below or share your story. Thank you for your attention. Take care.